Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, you're awesome, and in today's video we're doing our top 5 most appealing box office for actors and actresses suggested by Movie Mike from his podcast. As always, like and subscribe and stick around if this appeals to you.
So, Movie Mike, a podcast we listen to in the car, he recently discussed the top 20 most appealing actors and actresses that was released in a survey done across America, and he gave his thoughts on the list, and we thought we would do the same and then give our top 5, because personally I think the list is a bit wrong. What do you think?
I thought it was wrong as well.
So, I'll just get up the list, we'll go through it, and we can put it up on the screen too. So, at number 1, they've got Tom Cruise. Do you think Tom Cruise is the most appealing actor for the box office?
I think he's been in 2 franchises that I would say have been appealing. He is a great actor, but I would say no.
So without going through all of them, they've got The Rock at number 2. I think that's fair. I don't think The Rock's a great actor, but he does bring people to the box office.
Yes.
That's fair. Well, some of the other ones in here, like we've got Johnny Depp at number 9. Is Johnny Depp still relevant? Like, does people want to see movies with Johnny Depp in it?
I would say now no, but he might make a big comeback. But when he was back in his Pirates of the Caribbean and other movies, I would say yes. But that's definitely too high.
One that made it number 10 I thought was quite shocking was Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Do you think Kevin Hart brings people to the box office?
No.
Is he just because he seems to be in The Rock with all these movies? Is he
so.
there because people go to see The Rock and Kevin Hart happens to be there?
Yes, they even made a joke about that in the Die Hard show with John Travolta.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not good or funny, but I wouldn't have thought in top 10 actors or actresses of people most likely to bring people to the box office. That's a bit of a shock. Moving down to number 20, Chris Hemsworth. Do you think he should have been higher or even made the list?
For his Thor roles, I would say yes, but for me, Thor Love and Thunder kind of dropped him down. I'm surprised Ben Affleck or Matt Damon aren't on there, and he is, so I would probably drop him and put one of those 2 on there.
We got Keanu Reeves at number 11.
Yeah, I like him, but I would say I think he's a great actor, but for his 2 main roles, he's famous for those 2 roles, but he's excellent in The Matrix and John Wick.
Yeah, I think people really, really love Keanu Reeves as a person, and I think that pushes his likability, and people go see his movies because they hear of all the charitable and nice things he does. Not saying he's not a good actor, not saying he's not in good movies, but if he was to bring out a movie tomorrow that wasn't John Wick 5, would people be interested in going and seeing it? Because beyond John Wick, yeah, we got The Matrix, it's a big franchise, but that's kind of the driving force. He doesn't really do many other movies. He had some comedies earlier in his career. He was in Point Break, which I really, really liked, but I don't know if he drags me to the movies. So let's get into our top 5. We could talk all day about the top 20 they came up with. So who do you want to go first, me or you?
Me?
Okay, so who have you got at number 5 on your list?
Coincidentally, it was the person that we were just talking about, Keanu Reeves. To me, the reasons why we were talking about, I think he has the box office appeal because people love him. I love him as well, but he really only has 2 franchises, John Wick and The Matrix, and John Wick is fantastic, but if he was in unknown indie film, people probably wouldn't watch it. So for that reason, he's at number 5, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think he would drive people to the cinemas, more so than some of the other people on the list. At number 5, I've got Ryan Reynolds. I'm not saying he's my 5th favourite actor, just in terms of people that are going to bring people to the box office. I just think Ryan Reynolds is quite hot, you know, and not in terms of looks, but like hot with people. You know, he's popular right now. He's on the way down a little bit, but I think once he brings out the next Deadpool, he's going to skyrocket again. And I just think the movies he's in have been bringing people to the cinema. He made a lot of money out of The Free Guy, very popular movie with a very strange concept. So he has that ability. I just think his streaming movies bring him down a bit, but I just try not to watch those. But every time he brings one out, comes to the cinemas, I go there, and I tend to see other people go there. He's just, at the moment, quite marketable. Who have you got at number 4?
Tom Cruise. I know he loves his weird religion, Scientology, and that might not appeal to some people, so that's why he's not high like the website had him at number 1. But he was in one of the biggest movies, Top Gun Maverick, so you can't discredit that. So he definitely deserves to be on the list, but I can't have him at number 1. But I will see Mission Impossible this year. He is in it, but he kind of has 2 prizes as well as number 5. But yeah,
he's very selective in the movies he does bring out. Being the Mission Impossibles in recent years, he's brought out, and Top Gun Maverick, and they have brought people. So I guess if you look at success, his movies he's bringing out are bringing people. He just doesn't have any. He doesn't have any non-successful movies, so I guess that does make him marketable. If he was in a bit more films, maybe we might get a bit more of a bearing of where it is. So at number 4, I've got Ben Affleck. I personally really like Ben Affleck, but I also think he's selective. The movies he's in are usually big movies that attract people. He's not just doing small indie films. He's not doing, I say superheroes. He has been in superhero films before. He was Daredevil. But he tends to now just have big, serious roles, and he's either the main character, or if not, he's the director. He has something big to do in the films he's involved in. So I think anything Ben Affleck brings out, people go see. And I think Air's a brilliant example. I think a lot of people have gone to see that because of him and Matt Damon, because of who they are, not because of what the film's about. I'm sure people that have no interest in basketball or even shoes went to see those films because they were in it.
Very good point. My number 3 is Will Smith. I think his box office appeal has dropped since the whole slap incident, but for me, what has risen his appeal is he's just a good actor. I think he's been in quite a lot of successful movies: Pursuit of Happiness, 7 Pounds, King Richard. The list goes on. He was also on Apple TV Plus, a movie when he is Black African American, set during the Civil War. That is also a great movie. He's an amazing actor, but I think his appeal has gone off since the incident.
I agree with that. I think Will Smith has been in such great movies, but yeah, his branding's taken a bit of a hit in recent times. So number 3, I've got Matt Damon, very similar to Ben Affleck before him. These two are best mates too. They've been in a lot of films together. They work closely together. Matt Damon is in class roles. Everything he seems to go into, he's planned, he's picked out. He's not just pumping out 5 movies a year. He brings them out selectively, and he picks good roles. That's not to say he hasn't been in some bad roles or some not so serious roles, but he tends to be very selective, and they're big Hollywood films when he does. So I think when people see Matt Damon as the lead, I think people go to the box office to see it.
Good choice as well. My number 2 is The Rock. He probably has the biggest box office appeal out of everyone. I disagree with that list. He's in so many big action roles. I don't personally think the movies are any good, but it's hard to discredit that. But for the reason why he's not at number 1 is because he's been in one good movie, Gridiron Gangs. That's probably his best movie, but besides that, I don't personally think he's a good actor. The one at number 1 is, and that's why he's not at number 1.
I've actually got The Rock also at number 2. Only because the numbers don't lie. He attracts people. Yeah. People want to see The Rock. But I think he's on the decline. I think people are going to get sick of seeing the same role. We've seen that with he's expanded to do the role he was made to film in Black Adam. And people have gone, this movie was so bad. The film that you said was the role you were made to be was horrible. I think he's just on the decline. People are going to get sick of seeing the same thing. And I think the same as what Jacob said. Gridiron Gang was his best film, and he didn't play himself. In every movie, he's basically the same person. Gridiron Gang was different, and I really liked it. So he's number 2, only because not because I think he's the second best, but I just think he has the second most appeal to the box office. So what's your number 1?
I don't think it will be a surprise to Luke, but my number 1, he doesn't take as many roles as everyone, but I can't think of a failed movie he's been in, and that's Leonardo DiCaprio. He hasn't been in a movie for a while, but all the movies have been is hit after hit, box office hit, and that's why he's at number 1, because he's just a superb actor and he has the box office appeal. It's just he doesn't be in as many movies as The Rock. So, yeah.
Surprise, surprise, my number 1 is exactly the same. Leonardo DiCaprio is, I think he's the best actor around, maybe the best actor of all time. I think his name definitely attracts people, selective with his roles. Very few, if any, flops. You know, he's methodically brought out every year or so a new film that's just been the biggest film at the time when it comes out. He hasn't sold out to do superhero franchises. He hasn't gone to TV. The only film I can think of that comes to mind would be the Netflix original film. I think it was like Don't Look Up. And, you know, that had some kind of success, but it's a Netflix film. I've had my opinions about those. I've mentioned it before. I think it's a disappointment that he was involved in that. But beyond that, he's been every movie that's came out at the cinemas, smash hit for sure, without a doubt.
Any honourable mention?
Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is one of my absolute favourite actors. I think he's so talented. I think everything he does is great. But I don't know if other people think the same, if he has that same box office appeal, because he has had some films that haven't done the numbers you'd expect. But I think his range of acting is phenomenal. But maybe he just doesn't have box office appeal. What about you?
It's Tom Hanks, but lately I don't think he's been in that much, or,
Yeah, Tom Hanks. What about some actresses? Neither of us put any females in our list. You said off-screen Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I think with her being Harley Quinn, she has had box office appeal with that, but besides that, not that much.
Yeah, I think Margot Robbie at the moment is the female actress that sticks out to me, that is getting the biggest roles and the most attention, maybe followed by like Zendaya, Tom Holland, girlfriend or fiance now. She, whether it's in TV or film, she's getting big roles. I think the days of Julia Roberts and Angelina Jolie have kind of gone. I just think they're either Julia Roberts is probably a bit aged out, or when she gets a slightly bit older, she might be able to play the grandmother role in some films. I think Angelina Jolie she's not relevant anymore. Other female actresses that come to mind that are popular that probably could have made the list. Yeah, it's like Margot Robbie's the standout one, and I think Elizabeth Olsen's on the up. You know, she's been in Marvel franchise, and now she's got the show on Binge, so she's on the up. And maybe Scarlett Johansson was a surprise not to be in there. Again, yeah, big part of the Marvel franchise. She's been like the it girl for so long, and been the people have found the most attractive in Hollywood. And yeah, maybe she just doesn't have the box office appeal as the lead character.
Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, you're awesome, and keep being awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.